Hey everyone, it's your favorite boy.
Get the fuck out or I'm gonna shoot Amy in the fucking face!
Today, I'm gonna be talking about if in certain situations, if shipping characters in a certain media is okay or not. The media I'm gonna be talking about today is a video game, and this video game contains some pretty heavy subjects, so quick warning, I'm gonna flash it here on the screen real quick. If you're sensitive to any of these topics, please click off the video for your safety. Now that we're all here, today I'm going to be talking about mouthwashing. No, I don't mean actual mouthwash, I mean mouthwashing the game. It came out a few days ago, I believe, maybe a month ago. I don't fully remember, my memory isn't that great, but it is a horror video game that has been released recently, and it's really good. But with the popularity of mouthwashing, there's also the fandom that comes along with it, which isn't a bad thing. But however, fandom equals shipping. And normally, shipping in certain media isn't always okay. And I'm going to be talking about why it's not okay. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video. So what is mouthwashing? Mouthwashing is a 3D horror game that takes place in outer space. We have 5 members on a cruise ship, and they all work for the same company, Pony Express. We have Curly, who is the captain of the ship and is the character that you play for a bit in the beginning of the game. We have Jimmy, who is the character that you play for the rest of the game, almost all the way. Then we have Anya, who I'm pretty sure is a nurse. Daisuke, which is my favorite, I love him so much. Which Daisuke, I'm pretty sure, is the youngest one out of the whole crew. And then the oldest one out of the whole crew, I believe, is Swansea, who is a bigger, more older man. I love you, Swansea. Alright, by the video, I'm already assuming that you have either seen mouthwashing or know of the story. If you don't, I heavily recommend watching a recap video of the story because I just do not want to explain it to you. I'm not sitting here and explaining you the whole fucking story. But if you read the warnings of this video, then you'd probably realize that the stuff that does happen in this game is pretty heavy with pretty heavy topics. Spoiler warning, obviously, for the rest of this video. So, if you know what mouthwashing is, if you know what happens, then we all know that Jimmy isn't a great guy at all. He is a deplorable piece of shit. He isn't a good person at all. But other than that, most of the cast is pretty decent, besides Curly, which he did fuck up once, but I guess it's not as bad as what Jimmy did. But with the popularity of this game, the fandom also popped in, because with every piece of media, there's also a fandom for it, in some shape or form or another. From what I saw when it first released, being an indie game, it was a pretty big hit with some people. It was pretty good, and it is, in fact, a really good game. There was a lot of fan arts, and there still is. The fandom is still pretty big at this point. But with fandoms come a very, very big subject. Shipping. Oh dear, oh boy. Before I explain what shipping is, this video is sponsored by me. My commissions are currently open. If you like any of the art that you see in the background of these videos, please consider commissioning me or buying my adopts. I have a doc of all the information that you need in the description. Please consider commissioning me. It'll really help me out a lot. Even then, you just watching this video is very helpful, so thank you. Anyways, shipping means to take interest or hope for a romantic relationship between 2 fictional characters or famous people, whether or not the romance actually exists. Like, I think these 2 characters would be cute together, or I think these 2 characters would look nice together, such as Ruby and Sapphire, or Sally and Ash, or even Dave and Carcat. These are all examples of ships. So why would it be bad to ship characters in mouthwashing? You have to think about the media that you're shipping characters in. Think BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman is a relatively dark and more heavy-hearted show. Most of the time, things aren't really going well at all. However, the content isn't bad enough to not ship characters in. I feel like there are still characters that you can ship in that media. But when it comes to something like Mouthwashing, where you have such a limited amount of characters and such a gruesome and horrible tale, it kind of gets iffy. It's not like there isn't questionable ships out there. Think Bill and Stanford. Stanford is a person, while Bill is almost a godlike entity. Technically, their relationship would be pretty problematic or complicated, but everyone seems to love it. This would also apply to someone like Discord and Fluttershy. But then again, these medias don't have the similar context that Mouthwashing does. So would it or would it not be bad? In my personal opinion, I don't think people should be shipping Mouthwashing characters at all. Yeah, sure, you can make your own AU, which stands for alternate universe, where different things happen, characters are different and such, but I still feel like if you don't stray too far from the original story, things might still look gross, especially with the way that Jimmy and Anya's complex works. Anya is a victim. If Anya is being shipped with Jimmy, that's disgusting and not really appropriate at all. But then comes in the question, does it really affect anything? More like the sense of, does fiction affect reality? Which, yes, this is going to pro-shipping terms, but I promise you I'm not trying to go there. It's just something that needs to be explained. No matter what one believes, reality is affected by fiction. Fiction does affect reality. Have you ever come home from watching a movie and you feel really sad or happy? That's an example of fiction affecting reality if that movie is based off of a fictional story. Have you ever gotten scared of a slasher movie? Have you ever cried at a Pixar's movie? That's all examples of fiction affecting reality. So shipping a victim with their abuser, it wouldn't be that great at all, nor appropriate, nor okay, as it does reflect badly on those who have suffered. I've also seen talk of Curly and Jimmy. In a sense, Jimmy has in fact hurt Curly as well, physically and mentally. Oh my god. So that ship wouldn't be good either. It's just, in the whole sense, there isn't much characters to ship, nor should you anyways, because there is no need for it. There is no need for the love to be in the story, even for funsies. It just doesn't make sense in the context of the story. Nor does it make it okay in any sense, especially because of what happens. Other games like Mouthwashing, such as Fear of Hunger, is also an example of not shipping characters in certain medias. There is no substance to clearly go off of. There is, but it's not really good. I'm not saying all dark stories can be devoid of love or some kind of niceness in the story, but sometimes there's a time and place for that, and this isn't. On the subject of Mouthwashing's fandom, I recently didn't have such a great experience with some of the people in the fandom. It seemed very weird and off-putting, and there's been this recent video going around that has some popularity to it, and it feels very wrong. I'm not going to show the person who made it, but this is a thumbnail. It is a video of Curly after the accident, where he is pressing dog buttons to communicate, because he cannot talk, nor can he do, like, any kind of sign language or anything. This whole video feels very strange. I'm not gonna say straight up fetishizing, but it kinda gives it off, like, those vibes. The whole thing with Curly being an amputee character makes a lot of leeway for very gross subject matters, as well as artworks and videos such as this one. It feels dehumanizing. It feels wrong, it feels gross, as if we're reducing Curly to simply an animal. After the explosion, he was devoid of most of his human features, and people in the fandom are continuing to belittle him and make him less of a person. I know these videos, such as this, are most likely in a lighthearted sense, but it's just wrong. It doesn't feel right. Especially with the subject matter, it just feels like a big joke. An unfunny one at that. For clarification, I'm not saying that anything slightly humorous can't be used when it comes to talking about mouthwashing. The devs have done it before, and it's hilarious, but it's specifically stuff like this that catches me off guard and feels wrong. Especially when you're dealing with a fandom with such dark subjects, I feel like there's gonna be quite a few bad apples that is just unavoidable. Some of the jokes being made in this fandom shouldn't be jokes at all. It's really disturbing, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a snowflake that doesn't understand. It's just some issues I have with the fandom culture in general, I feel like. That might just be a me thing, but it just feels very off-putting. I'm not saying you can't have fun in a fandom. Fandoms are all about having fun, but sometimes fun isn't always good. Sorry to be the fun police, I'm a Debbie Downer, what can I say? I don't know really what else to put in the subject matter. It's just this whole thing, especially with the fact that mouthwashing is such a new thing. I shouldn't be putting the fandom down so harshly already. I should probably be giving it more time. Hi, Punchy. Anyways, I'm not sure what else I should say on this matter. I'm not good with ending videos. Scratches my ass. If you watched this far, thank you for watching the whole video. I know this is long, I yap a lot, I'm a yapper. That's probably why I started doing videos like this. I am currently working on another video. It's been taking me a while to get videos out or start working on them, mainly because my mental health hasn't been the best. But not really your guys' problem, it's mine, so I shouldn't be really bringing it up all that much. Still though, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have anything you'd like to ask me, or discussions, or questions about the video, or critiques even, feel free to leave them in the comments. I am always happy to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day, stay safe, and don't do drugs.